welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Nisha and I'm back with another video. Actually in the shower, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like thinking back to all these like Jamaican myths that I was hearing while I was pregnant, and I'm like, I should do a video on this. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about some Jamaican myths, not necessarily just Jamaican, but I grew up in a Jamaican home, so I guess it's more like a Caribbean thing, because you don't only hear Jamaicans say this, it's more like the Caribbean culture you hear say these type of myths that I'm going to be talking about. So I thought this would be a cool, interesting video, so that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm sorry if you guys see me chewing a couple times. If you're new to my channel, I am pregnant and I have this really bad spitting habit, so I literally have to be like chewing gum or have candy in my mouth, or else I'm just gonna be spitting every second, and it's so annoying. So I'll try not to make it be annoying. I don't chop my gums, so you don't have nothing to worry about. And I'm super thirsty, like I'm gonna have to go get another water. So let's jump right into this video. So the number one biggest myth, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard, is the fish dream. The typical fish dream, the typical where your dad or mom will come to you, or grandma, aunt, uncle, anyone in your family will come to you and be like, I had a fish dream, someone is pregnant. This is so funny because before I even found out I was pregnant, I was dreaming a lot of fish, but like I wasn't even thinking like, oh, it's myself that's pregnant. I'm thinking like someone around me is pregnant. So I kept dreaming a lot of fish, and my mom also dreamt fish. My dad also dreamt fish, which is usually weird, because whenever he dreams fish, and like he'll always come to us and be like, he does this thing where he's like, I just dreamt fish, and like you start looking at you and you start feeling awkward, like we're all like, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. So you know, the number one myth I feel like in the Caribbean culture is when someone in your family or friend or whatever, someone dreams fish, it means you're pregnant. Another one is lizard. I've been hearing this for a couple of years now, and this is just from me traveling back and forth to Jamaica. They have this myth where if a lizard lands on you or is on you, you are pregnant. I remember one time I was in Jamaica, and we were just all like all the neighbors and everyone was just kind of like just standing there, all like talking, whatever. And there was this mango tree, but on that mango tree specifically, there's always lizards on it. And then one day I was just standing there, and I was like, I had my shoulder on Ziggy, and I was just leaning there. We're all just there talking, and there was a good like 10 of us standing there, and a lizard jumped right on my foot. So I felt something crawling on my foot, and I looked down and I kicked it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a lizard. Of course, everyone was looking like, someone's pregnant, but I knew like this is like 2 years ago, and I'm like, nah, like you guys are just tripping, like you guys believe too heavily on these myths and stuff like that. Like that was just one of the myths that I heard. I've never really heard that one. You don't really hear that one a lot, but I knew when I was down there, like that's one that I definitely heard. Another one is boil. So a boil is like basically this little bump that comes up on your skin and like it hurts. And if anyone around you has a boil, it means someone around you is pregnant. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you keep up with my vlogs, there's this guy named Courtney. I call him my son, or Chilla. He was getting boils out of like nowhere. He had a boil on his leg. And then it went away, then it came back. And I think when he had his first one, his niece was pregnant. And then he got another one, then his other niece was pregnant. And then he got another one, and he came around, and then he's like, yo, someone's pregnant. But it's like no one knew who it was. That was a little after we found out that I was pregnant, but we were trying to like keep it on the low. And he came around, and he came back, and he's like, yo, I don't know why I keep getting these boils. And me and Ziggy looked at each other. Oh, we just started dying, because it was just like we were the only ones that knew. I think Polly was out there that time. And then Ziggy's neighbors, the 2 kids that lived there, they also got a boil. So it was just weird. So Jamaicans also have this saying that if someone has a boil, it means someone is pregnant. I think there was a good like, wait, there's Chilla's 2 boys. There's 4 people that had boils around the time when I found out I was pregnant, which was just weird, because when you hear these myths, you're just like it's fictional, like you don't believe in it. But then when it's like you hear the myth and it's actually happening to you, like whatever the myth is related to, you're kind of just like, what the hell, like you start tripping out. Like it was so weird because everyone around us had boils. Another one is if you cross your legs, the umbilical cord will be wrapped around the baby's neck. I've never heard of that one. I heard this when I was actually down in Jamaica this time around. This is when I think people were slowly starting to pick up that I was pregnant, and I would always sit and cross my legs, and this one lady kept looking at me, so I'm just like, okay. You know when like someone wants to tell you something but it's like they don't know if they should tell you? So she just leaned up on the wall and she's like, Nisha, you know you shouldn't, they say you shouldn't cross your leg when you're pregnant because the umbilical cord will grow on the baby's neck. So I'm just like, I've never heard of that before. But then I'm just like, you know, yo, when you hear these myths, your mind just starts going. So I went on Google, I started Googling, and I'm like, yo, is it true? Like I started to actually believe it, to the point every time I crossed my leg, I uncrossed my leg because I'm like, oh my god. Like I started to believe the myth. And I'm just like, yo, being in Jamaica and being pregnant, it just trips you out. It literally trips you out because you just be like overthinking stuff, and yo, it's just too much. So that's another one. So another one is don't mark the baby. So when they say don't mark the baby, basically it means like if you have an itch or a scratch, like you shouldn't scratch it, or if you have an itch or if you're craving something and you start to itch that spot on your body or whatever, like the baby will get that birthmark, something like that. Like that's something like that. That's how it goes. Because I remember whenever I was craving food, and like I'll be there like rubbing my stomach or like rubbing somewhere on my body or scratching, they'll be like, no, don't do that if you're craving food because you're gonna birthmark the baby. And I'm just like, bro, like it's crazy because on one of my videos, someone commented about that, and I think they said their kid actually had the birthmark of where they were itching, and there were some other people that were commenting and saying how it's not true. And I don't know, I've heard, because one of my friends said actually that her mom, it happened to her, I guess. She was saying that wherever her mom itched whenever she was craving something, she ended up with that birthmark. So some people believe in it, some people don't. I don't know yet. My baby's not here, so I don't really know. And I really try not to itch anyways. I more rub. But a lot of times when I was craving stuff, I don't even, like now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even remember really itching. But that's another myth that they have. Another one that is really scary is don't go near the dead. So basically you're not supposed to go like near no grave site or like near any funerals, because supposedly the dead will want to steal like the spirit of your unborn child or something like that. I didn't want to hear anything like that when I was pregnant because honey, I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I am protected and covered underneath the blood of Jesus Christ. So I didn't want to hear nothing about that. That's something I've been hearing over the years. But that was another one that I heard. There's a lot of myths out there, and it's like if you really keep up with them, they will consume your mind and your brain. It will literally make you start thinking. Again, these are just myths. Some people, I mean, like these are myths that's been around for years, and some people really rely on them and believe in them. Because when I say I saw pregnant people and they were not doing this or that because the myth says this or that, like it was crazy, I just sat there and I'm just like yeah. Anyone that came up to me and kind of like said something or like a myth, I'm just like, yeah. But like the number one myth that I always heard was always like the fish dream, like the typical fish dream, which I kind of want to say I kind of believe. That's probably like the only one I feel like that I believe. But yeah, that's just some of the myths that I heard or that I know of growing up and being like from a Caribbean background. Let me know down below if you guys have heard any of these myths, or if you guys know any other ones. Like share it down below. And I really want to know about this don't mark the baby one. Like that, has that happened to any of your guys' kids? Like I really want to know because that one really intrigued me. Yeah, that's basically it for this video. This was like a really just quick video, nothing too much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.